love myself, and you give power and influence to the wrong people. Look how it turns out. You have to hype yourself up, and nobody else on the external side to keep up. You have to. Welcome back to Ascension with V. I am your host, Stashia Jeanette, aka V, and today I'm going to talk about a topic that is very near and dear to me because it's something that I've had to battle with frequently, and that is mastering your mind, mastering your energy, mastering and controlling your emotions. So the basics of this is because your mind, your energy, and your emotions are all connected. They all go hand in hand together, as well as your spiritual gifts and abilities. And if your spiritual gifts and abilities are not, if your emotions and your energy are not controlled, then your spiritual gifts and abilities are going to be affected as a result. And I like to give kind of like the exotic car example for this because I'm a car buff. I like cars. I like exotic cars. I like foreign cars. I like cars in general. So this is a perfect example for me is a lot of people don't realize that essentially your mind is sort of like, say, a Ferrari or a Bugatti Veyron, right? And it's got all the torque, it's got all the horsepower, it's got all the V12 and the cool air intakes and the tail fins in the back to get it to go and do the drifts and do the things. But like if you're not in that driver's seat and you're not in control of that vehicle's going to control you. That vehicle's going to, hit that turn and spin out of control. It's going to run you. And it's the same way with your mind. It's sleek, it's powerful, it's capable of doing these amazing things, but it's useless if you're not able to handle what's under the hood. It's useless if you're not able to control and harness that power. And if you're not the one who's gripping that steering wheel and you're not the one who is saying like, no, I got this. I'm in control of this vehicle. I control the car does not control me. It's the same thing with your mind, with your energy, with your emotions, with your gifts. You control your mind. Your mind should not control you. You control your energy. Your energy should not control you, and nor should external energy be a factor that is inputting and controlling what your energy and frequency is like as well. And you likewise are in control of your emotions. Your emotions shouldn't run away with and control you. So a full episode is essentially being born from this because this is something that I've spent a great deal of my time having to try to master, having to try to learn, having to understand my emotions, understand my spiritual gifts, and understand how my mind and my energy also are linked hand in hand. So if you're angry, your perception gets warped. You're not able to see the situation as it truly is because you're in that heightened state of rage. You're in that heightened state of anger, of frustration. All you're seeing is kind of red. Say somebody, hits your car or something, and then immediately you're going on, a tangent. All you see is red, and what's actually happened or what is actually going on, you may not be seeing it correctly because all you feel and see is that anger and rage emotion. Your perception is warped. You're not able to make clear decisions. You're not able to think clearly when you are angry. Same with when you're sad or you're anxious. Your visions or your dreams and spiritual gifts will mirror that sadness, that anxiousness back to you because that's the energy and frequency that you're in. So example, if you are going through a really stressful time in your life. Perfect example, again, will always be my own personal relatable things that I've gone through. So when I was going through my process of coming off of all of my medications, there was a whole 2-year gap where essentially I was in like a heightened state of like paranoia, psychosis. I was freaking out constantly. I didn't know who I could trust. I thought people were coming for me. It was just a really brutal, terrible time for me at that point in my life. When I would go to bed, I wasn't sleeping very much, but in the few hours that I would get of sleep, my dreams, my nighttime abilities were taking me on some crazy trips, on some crazy experiences. Like they were very negative. It was nightmarish type things that I was experiencing because that's where my mind was at. That's where I was at energetically. That's where I was at frequency wise. And that's where I was at with my emotions. I was in that fear state. I was in that anxious state. I was in that worried and depressed state. And so, likewise, my dreams or my nightmares mirrored that back to me when I went to sleep. So, really, there was no escape from it. There was no escape from it while I was awake, and there was no escape from it while I was sleeping. But when you're calm, when you're centered, when you're able to just ground back into your body and you're able to kind of catch your breath and come above the water and no longer feel like you're flailing your arms in the air trying to bring yourself and your emotions back down to the here and the now and in the present, you're able to just, I don't know, take a look around your room and say like, oh, here's this lamp and here's the ring lights and here's the blinds. You're here in the moment and you're calming your mind. That's when you can hear your actual thoughts. That's when you can feel your actual energy. That's when you can get back in control of your mind, of your body, of your energy. And it's no longer the energy and the emotions in your mind controlling you. And it's not something that happens overnight. Again, like I said, I had a whole 2.5 year period of my life where I was very much in that flailing mode, where I was very much in that freaking out paranoid state of mind and being. And I also was having a lot of my spiritual gifts were coming online at that time, and I didn't know how to control them. They were very much controlling me. They were very much running me, and external energy was very much affecting and controlling me, for lack of better words. I was being very easily influenced from the external energies and emotions of other people. And that in itself is super draining. And that in itself can be a super detrimental situation if you're not, again, if you're not cognizant of it, if you don't know that these are things that you have going on with you, if you don't know, again, if you're just not aware of it. So the best thing that I can do for everyone who is now going through this process of discovering themselves, of discovering their emotions, or if you're in the situation that I was, of now you're trying to come off of your medications, or you're in the process of where you're trying to develop a natural, real connection with your authentic self, your mind, your body, your energy, and you're trying to be in the driver's seat of your exotic car, of your supercar, because that's what your mind is. It's a supercar. If you're in the process now of trying to become the master of your mind and become the master of your energy and become the master of your emotions, this is the episode for you that we're going to dive into in the fullness. And so again, your mind is essentially the thing that filters and frames the things that you perceive and see as real. But your emotions have the ability to either amplify or distort those things. So if you are, again, if you're feeling that something is off, but you don't have the ability yet to control your own emotions, if you are feeling that there is something negatively affecting you, or you're feeling anger, or you're feeling sadness, or you're feeling anxiety, or you're feeling stress, but you're not sure yet at this point in time if that is your energy or other people's energy, or the energy of the collective, or the energy of the environment that you're around, then you're still in that thing of where your energy or your emotions are now distorting what it is that's being filtered to your mind. And the energy carries both your thoughts and emotions into the spiritual realm. And so all of these things are interconnected. It's one big piece of this car pie where if you, again, are not able to separate where your energy begins and other people's energy, where your energy ends and other people's energy begins, this is how you're kind of in this this flailed state of mind and flailed state of being. And again, my best advice for this process is to try and center yourself, ground yourself back into the present moment, ground yourself. And what I did frequently was I went outside a lot. Like I just sat outside and tried to concentrate on the birds, try to concentrate on the clouds and be like, oh, there's a cloud up there that looks like a starfish. There's a cloud up there that looks like a mushroom. There's a cloud up there that looks like a unicorn, like making shapes out of the clouds, staring up at the clouds, listening to the birds is the easiest way to stay focused into the present and to bring your mind, your energy, and your frequency back to a calm and centered point, because when you're here, when you're just right here in the present, there's nothing going on. Like, again, of course, like, unless you're being chased by like a lion or like a monster in the present moment. But you understand what I'm saying here. Most of the time, again, for me, when I was having like heightened levels of anxiety, I was having fear or of like impending doom, and I was having like moments of like depression, or I was having moments of like rage, whatever the case may be, it was because of either something that I was thinking about that may happen in the future, or it was something that I was thinking about that happened in the past. Both don't exist. Like, all we have is the right now. So the times that I was able to go outside and bring myself into the present moment and just be in the right now, those were the times that I honed in on things like, oh, look at the butterfly. Oh, look at the birds. Listen to the birds. The wind on my face. Oh, look at the clouds, right? And that was the only time that I could feel peace, calm, tranquility, and groundedness. All the other times I was kind of just up in air, flying around. So really, 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 your biggest aid, your biggest help, your biggest tool when you're trying to learn, unlock, and master your mind, energy, and emotions is being able to get back to your ground zero, your homeostasis point, that balanced, grounded point in the present. And I know it sounds super easy, but it was really, and it still is very difficult for me and for a lot of people to stay here, to stay in the present moment, to not be worried about what's happening tomorrow or what's happening in a week. From the business standpoint, we hear this so frequently. So what's the 5-year plan? And that's so crippling. It's so imprisoning. It's so detrimental to a lot of people because it's assuming that you're going to be the same person, that you're not going to have grown, that you're not going to have evolved, that you're not going to have changed in any way within that 5-year time span. And that's insane to me. As a person who, like, again, my name is Ascension Oracle V. I'm here to help with Ascension. Ascension is my game. Ascension is my expertise. So like it's crazy to me, again, as a person who's had to meet with multiple business mentors to sit with them and hear them talk about, like, you need to have this 5-year plan. What's the 5-year goal? What's the 10-year goal? What's the 15-year? Like, bro, I'm trying to just get through this month. I'm trying to get through today. But that's how this world has kind of operated for so long, of like always thinking about the future. Always thinking about the future and never thinking about right here, right now. Never thinking about this moment that we have currently, this present moment, this gift that we have right here, right now. And that's why so many of us struggle to have a grounded homeostasis zero point foundation. Incredibly foreign to us. It's incredibly awkward for us to have any free time and just be like, oh, I've got free time, so I'll just sit here and enjoy this moment. I'll just enjoy this present moment. And that's the hardest part for a lot of us. And even though it's quote unquote easy to just be here, to just kind of be in the now, it's difficult when all you've known is to either be focused on the future or to be held back by the past. And the future and the past don't exist. Time is not real. Time is an illusion. Time is a farce. Time is a construct. Really, honestly, it is. You have to have the calm. You have got to have the calm in order to be able to master your mind, in order for you to be in the driver's seat of the Bugatti. You have to be able to be into this present moment, to tap into the groundedness, to tap into the tranquility and the peace, right? Because it doesn't happen when you're out of your body, when you're out of the moment. And having essentially spiritual power without your inner peace, and the car example here is like having infinite horsepower without any brakes. Like, where is that going to lead? Where does that lead to? In the end, it's literally only from a place of calm that you're able to accurately interpret your visions and dreams, accurately see and perceive situations as they are, and make the best, most in alignment decisions for you in that present moment. The present is where you are able to make those in aligned decisions for you in the moment. And only from a place of calm are you able to channel your gifts clearly without any energy interference and without having any kind of doubt or blockages in the process. And only from that place of spiritual peace and calm are you able to channel your gifts and avoid energetic feedback loops where, you've got these fears that are creating fearful visions, or you're having depression or sadness that's feeding into your dream state, that's now creating like negative nightmares for you. What happened with me was that I was having dreams that I was then perceiving as the truth at the time, because I was in like paranoia, I was in fear, right? And then my dreams and visions were then reflecting back to me what it was that I was seeing. So like I couldn't even rely on my dreams at that time, because it was being warped by how out of alignment and how low of energy and frequency I was in at the time. So it is really, really detrimental when you are down bad energetically and emotionally. It's really, really detrimental to yourself and to your mind and your emotions when you allow yourself to kind of hit rock bottom, which is really a bottomless pit. But it's really detrimental when you allow yourself to hit your Challenger deep in the Mariana Trench, in that abyss, for your spiritual gifts. Because again, at that point, essentially nothing is reliable. You having an energetic interference from that lowered state, that lower frequency, and it's not a reliable source. I'm trying to explain it in the best way possible for that, like other people might be able to relate to it, but it's literally like if you're trying to maybe say like play a poker game or something, right? But like you've had one too many drinks, well too many drinks, and then you're just relying on the person behind you, right? You've got somebody that's behind you to like tell you exactly what it is that the cards are saying. And like you're putting all your trust into this person behind you because your senses are skewed. You're drunk, you're super drunk, you can't see the cards clearly. But you're allowing this person who may or may not actually really be behind you to tell you what the cards are. But you're like blindly shooting. This is kind of it's not a reliable thing when you are in that low of frequency, when you're scared, when you're angry, when you're paranoid, when you're sad, when you're depressed, right? Your energy is kind of watered down or diluted. Your spiritual gifts are kind of watered down and diluted, like a drunk person. It's like how drunk people see someone in the club or in the bar and are like, damn, they're fine. But then like the next morning, the sober the sober vision returns, and then you're like, ew, who is this kind of situation? It's the false perception. You was under the influence. This is this is what I mean. Your spiritual gifts will reflect like you are under the influence of low frequency. You have under the influence effects the same way here. So one way that, again, like I said, that I was able to kind of get out of this reoccurring loop that I was in over that 2-year time span of darkness in my life was, like I said, I went outside very frequently. I was outside a lot, trying to practice my traction control, trying to just ground in, trying to stay in the moment. Y'all are going to get tired of me talking about staying in the moment and trying to, like I said, look at the bushes, like look at the flowers, look at the wind blowing, try to feel the wind on your skin, on your face, close your eyes and try to hone in on listening to the birds or listening to cars passing or listening to dogs barking in the background or like something. It doesn't matter what it is, but close your eyes and try to just like focus in on something that you are hearing and feeling, right? So you need to at least allow 2 of your senses to do the work that your physical eyes aren't seeing when you are outside. Close your eyes and allow your ears to hear things. Like I said, the birds chirping, the wind blowing the bushes or the tree leaves or dogs barking in the background. That's one thing that you're hearing in the present moment. And then what are you feeling in that present moment? Are you feeling the wind? Are you feeling heat on your face? Are you feeling cold on your face? Like, what do you feel? And those are just two things. It doesn't matter which one of the senses you want to use, but allow two things to really lock you in to the present moment so that you can get back into your grounded homeostasis point zero state. You're not up here flailing. You're not down in the abyss, angry and depressed and going through whatever kind of issues that you've been going through. Like, you're just here in the present moment, and things are calm. Things are resetting. You're allowing your nervous system to kind of have a break. You're allowing your nervous system to calm down. You're giving your body, mind, and soul some much needed reset time. Right. So I have a ring, and because this isn't sponsored, I'm not saying the name. This is not sponsored. No free shout outs over here. But I have a ring that kind of tracks my my sleep, my stress, and things of this nature. I will frequently get a notification sometimes throughout the day that'll be like, "Hey, you're in high stress," and I try to at that point take some time, 2 or 3 minutes, and do some deep breath work of like five deep breaths in, hold for five deep breaths out. Right? So I do 5 deep in, 5 hold, 5 deep breath out. So, and I try to like audibly exhale outward so that it really, I mean, it just does something when you make an audible sigh when you're exhaling, especially when you're stressed. It really just does something for the body and the mind when you can kind of exhale out all the stress. So again, the 5 deep breaths in and the 5 out. That is what I do at least 2 or 3 times a day because my ring be telling me, you're stressed out, you stressed out. And so that's one of my biggest goals right now currently is staying in touch and in tune with my body and figuring out like, what does my body feel like when I'm stressed, and doing something about it in the present moment rather than waiting until the end of the day has gone through and my body has just been in total fight or flight mode. My shoulders are locked up and I've got knots in my shoulders, and now I'm having to come here with the massage gun for 15 minutes to try and de-stress and decompress. Like, no. And I understand, like, in everybody's life, including mine, it's hectic. It's difficult to create multiple breaks throughout the day to just kind of check on your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. But like, damn it, it's necessary at this point because life is rough. This is full out spiritual warfare that's happening 24/7 in the world. And it's not something that you got one body, you have one mind, and you got to take care of it. You have to do the maintenance, just like you got to do maintenance on a car. Like if you got a supercar, you have a Rolls Royce, you have a Bugatti, you got to take care of that, like to the utmost degree. You can't just let it well, I'll just put off the maintenance for it. No, that's round the clock. You have to make sure that car is running beautifully. And this is no different with your body. You have got to, even if like I said, even if it's 1 minute in a day that you just take a 30-second deep breath in, deep breath out situation. And, like you give yourself a pat on the back and be like, hey, all right, we're doing this. Good job. Look, y'all can look at me side eye like I'm crazy or not, but this is no joke. Like you have to check in with yourself throughout the day, because that's why even though I have hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a lot of the reasons why my body had as many issues as it had was because, again, I was going through my day on fight or flight survival mode to the max. And because I don't feel pain the way that other people do, I've gone through the day with joints dislocated and I had no idea, because I was just like, gotta keep it moving, gotta keep it moving, gotta keep it moving, gotta do this, gotta hustle, gotta grind, gotta do this, and that's not it. Killing yourself for a job that don't give a damn about you is insane. For people that don't give a damn about you is insane. Nobody's gonna look out for you the way that you need to look out for yourself. So you gotta make you your first priority, your highest priority. And it doesn't matter, like I said, a minute, 3 minutes throughout the day. Just check in, do your breathing exercises, do the things that, can bring you back in the moment. It takes 30 seconds to look up and be like, oh, there's a lamp over here. Oh, there's a bush over here. Oh, there's a bird over there. Whatever the case may be, to just look around in your environment and do a present check so that you can reset and you're not just focused on the forward and you're not just focused on the past. It doesn't exist. It's just right here. All we have is the present moment. That's why it is a gift. It's a gift to be in the present. So please do this daily check-in with yourself and make sure that you're okay. Make sure that you're doing your energetic hygiene, clearing any residual emotions from your body. Like I said, I very frequently use this. It is 4096C. It is a tuning fork. It just is sole purpose is to clear the energy, clear negative energy from around you. And also using a black obsidian bracelet to keep on your body and putting it in a selenite bowl every night, not once a month, not once a week, not once every couple of days, every night. Keep it in your selenite bowl, keep it cleansed, keep it charged, keep it ready to protect and serve you at all times. And using Palo Santo is always a great choice. Palo Santo will remove negative energy from your auric and energetic field and your environment. So cleaning your spaces, your home, your bedroom, your office, wherever it is that you're at, is really, really important. Open the window when you're doing this and let it air out. Turn a fan on, a ceiling fan if you've got one, to help that kind of circulate and clear out as well. And that's crucial steps. And also water is a really great way to purify and cleanse the energy in the body as well. Just being able to take a shower and envision kind of all the muck going down the drain. Energetic muck going down the drain is another way that is very beneficial to cleanse your energy and spiritual body. And just remember, like, you control the car. The car doesn't control you. You control your mind, your body, and your energy. The energy in your mind and your emotions do not control you. Like I said, it's a slippery slope. It's a difficult process. Really, the biggest challenge that you will face is staying present. And but once you get past staying present, being able to harness and control your energy is subordinate to the mind, right? So that means that you can command the energy to be the way that you want it to be. You command it, right? And energy knows, like, we've come up upon a person that we cannot influence, but it influences us. You control your own energy, right? So if somebody comes to you with some energy that's off-putting, you can redirect that and change it into an energy that is befitting for you. If somebody's coming with you with some chaotic or negative energy, you can shut that down and say, no, that's your energy, but I put out this calm and this peaceful and this tranquil energy. If you want to be chaos and thunder, then that's fine, but I come with sunshine and peace. And you command that. You command that your energy is of peace, of tranquility, of calmness, of stillness. You can command your mind to be still. You can command your mind to be calm. And you can command your emotions to be calm and still and peaceful. But you are not able to do anything while your mind, your energy, and your emotions are running the show. So again, the first step, and this is kind of how I just wanted to do this episode, is to talk about step one, because we struggle to get past this one. It was a struggle for me, and it's still, like, I'm not perfect at it yet. It's still a work in progress, but step one is staying in the present moment. Step one is acknowledging the emotions that you're feeling. Step one is realizing that, oh my God, I'm flailing. Right. And that's a scary part for a lot of people as well. When you open the lid on the emotions and all you feel is like overwhelming energy of chaos, or overwhelming energy of sadness, or overwhelming energy of anger, or fear, or frustration, or anxiety. Like, it's a lot. But again, take off that lid outside. Right? Take off that lid while you can spend time in nature, focusing and grounding. If you can sit on some grass while you're doing that, even more of a benefit, so that you can feel Mother Earth pulsing beneath you, and you can visualize that the roots coming out from, if you're sitting down, from like your butt going down into Mother Earth with that heartbeat pulsing, the heartbeat of Mother Earth, right? Or if you're sitting on a chair outside on your patio, on your porch, on your deck, whatever the case may be, same thing. You can still envision roots coming down from beneath you, tapping into Mother Earth and that pulsing, and then also envisioning your connection going up to source, right? So you're having the grounded connection from both ends, from spirit and from earth. You need to have both, the connection between earth and from spirit. So I always try to kind of imagine like a pulley system. You're the weight in the middle, and there's a string above you and a string below you. And you want to keep you balanced in the middle of earth, balanced in the middle of spirit. And again, if you can open the lid of the emotions while you are outside, while you're in this grounded energy, while you're surrounded by nature, while you're surrounded by elements that are going to support and comfort you while you're doing the process of discovering and uncovering and acknowledging the emotions that were very frequently, sending you into flailing, while it was very frequently controlling you or overwhelming you. When you have the supportive, positive energies of Mother Earth, of nature, and of God Source Universe, of animals, of the nature around you, being able to kind of console you and give you that, like I said, added support, it makes the process very much less daunting to unpack everything. And again, that's what I did. I spent hours outside just trying to feel normal again. And it's not an overnight process. It's not fast. It's not a linear thing. Sometimes you'll have really good days. Sometimes you'll have a lot of progress with kind of dealing with and understanding and acknowledging your emotions. And you'll feel like someday, like, oh yeah, like I'm in control of my mind and my emotions and my gifts right now. And then some other days you can feel like you're back to flailing and being overtaken by the waves of your emotions again. But it's a sign that you have regressed. It's not a sign that you aren't doing things the right way or that you haven't made progress. It's completely the opposite. It's a proof that you are growing, that you are doing the work, and you have taken the steps to move forward with this process. So please give yourself some grace on this journey, on this process, and show yourself compassion and give yourself a pat on the back for even wanting to embark on trying to learn how to master your mind and master your emotions and master your energy, so that you can master your spiritual gifts and abilities. Because like I said, the first part comes from being able to stay in the moment and take that lid off of the emotions. But that's what I have for you guys. Don't forget, you are able to book a one-on-one reading or a recorded reading with me, where I do a 3-card pull, just like my regular weekly videos. And you can apply to work one-on-one with me, and I can help you with this process of trying to discover your gifts and abilities and kind of guide you through the process of taking the lid off and dealing with your emotions and kind of what all that entails. And like I said, it's very customizable depending upon what individual needs you have, where you're at, because not everybody's at the same place, not everyone's on the same timeline, not everybody has the same gifts and abilities, not everybody is the same kind of being, and that's fine. Like, hey, come one, come all, no judgment is over here. But I'm telling you this because everyone wants to know what it looks like to work with me, and it's very different. Is different. Not everybody's the same. At the end of the day, I see where you got wounds. I see where you have triggers. I see where you're being held back. I see where the problem areas are at, because again, 1-3 projector in human design. I see you, but I'm very good with energy. I'm very good with the upper chakras, and I am able to activate those chakras and kind of on the most locked up of hearts and souls. but you do have to do the work, and that's what I'm here for, is to kind of give you the tools and the coaching and the guidance for you to do the work. But it's up to you to take those things and apply it to your life every day. It's not a one-time process. It's not like a one and done thing. It's like a language. You got to continuously use it or you lose it, and that's what it is. Don't forget also, the New Earth Guidebook to Healing and Ascension is available on Amazon, and that's what I have for you all. Check out Ascension Oracle V for any other things that I didn't mention on here. And until next time, I'll see you guys. V Squad.